What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
All right, welcome back in. Very excited for our next guest. He is somebody that we always enjoy catching up with, and who better to catch up with today than a guy that had 3 of the Saints draft choices in his game. Of course, we're talking about Jim Nagy, the executive director of the Senior Bowl, joins us now. Jim, how you doing today? Thanks for your time.
Good, Jacob. Good to be on, man.
All right, so let's talk about the Saints draft choices that played in Mobile. You got Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. You got Nick Saldiveri from Old Dominion and Jake Haener from Fresno State. So let's start with the second-round pick, Foskey from Notre Dame. Not a lot of people, Jim, had him maybe that high in the draft. He was somewhere, in the 70, 75 range. He gets selected in the early 40s there of the NFL draft. But you watching as much tape and breaking down these players for as long as you do, what do you see as maybe some of his strengths and some of his weaknesses?
Well, first thing, I knew the Saints liked him. I conversations with those guys, I knew he was kind of on their radar at 40. I knew they had a couple players kind of pegged for where they were picking with those first 2 picks. I didn't know it was Isaiah. They didn't share that information, but I knew they liked him. He's the guy that's got a lot of sack production at the college level, and that's something that usually carries over as a pro. We're talking about back-to-back double-digit sack seasons the last 2 years at Notre Dame. Big, stout edge setter, physical at the point of attack. He's an every down player. He's ready to go. Like there's no bulk deficiency or strength deficiency. Plays hard, high character guy, what you would expect coming out of that Notre Dame program. We've got a lot of Notre Dame guys over the last 5 years since I've been at the Senior Bowl, and all these guys are grown men. I mean, they all carry themselves like adults, and you're going to get a guy that's ready. There's really no development or maturation that needs to happen. So he's ready to go, man. He's the ready-made product.
All right, as we go on, Saldiveri is from Old Dominion, and I remember watching him in the game, and obviously a versatile offensive lineman. Some people may be surprised by the pick, but he showed versatility there in Mobile, and I know he's coming from a smaller school in Old Dominion, but what did you like about him during the week in Mobile?
He had a chance to go day 2. Just talking to teams the last month or so, Nick was a guy we thought could sneak into the top 100. So obviously a player that the Saints coveted, because you're not going to package picks and move up to get that top spot of the day. I mean, there's more trade action on that pick than on the first pick of day 3 than any pick in the draft. So They obviously saw Nick as the guy that can help them, and probably right away. I mean, you're to trade up and take a player like that, you're usually not doing that for a backup level player. So I'm guessing the Saints probably had a 2nd or 3rd round grade on Nick. He's played mostly right tackle at Old Dominion. I think he's going to kick inside and play guard. I actually think his best long-term position is going to be center.
Right.
I posted something about that on social media back in the fall when I watched him. Just really good initial quickness, good at the second level, and he's a big man. Like, you get up on this guy, he is a big dude. So teams that like to play with big centers, which I know the Saints like to do, he'd be a good fit. So no, that could end up being a really good pick for those guys.
So, Jim, I mean, this being around the NFL for as long as you have, and when you're talking about like actual game day dress lists, and you have a guy like Saldiveri, who in his career has played all across the board, like that brings real value. Not to say that he's going to maybe specialize at one position or the other, but just knowing that he's got experience there. And if you're thin in numbers and you've got maybe an injury at running back, but you're still going to dress that guy, knowing you have to dress another running back that you wouldn't, a guy like that is always going to have a better opportunity just because of the versatility.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, look at you know this better than I do. I'm sure you got put into positions in late November and December where you weren't used to playing.
Yes.
You get late in the year and the roster really starts taking hits. And so you got to have position flexibility in really the 2 biggest positions where teams can really cover for stuff is on the offensive line and in the secondary. So that's what makes a pick like Saldiveri so important.
There was a couple of Decembers there, Jim, where I was like playing off the ball Y, like basically a tight end, and I was like, "Hey, are y'all really sure this is set up for success there?" But to your point, I mean, it's what you kind of have to do, bringing somebody in that late, trying to learn the offense. It's better just to try to move a guy who's been in the offense for a full season there. All right, continuing on, and look, the Senior Bowl does such a great job of bringing in great players, and obviously the New Orleans Saints are a team that values the Senior Bowl in the 4th round as well. I actually really like this pick, and I know you do as well. Jake Haener from Fresno State. You get him there in the 4th round, and this is somebody that truly I think can develop under Derek Carr.
I do. I think of all the guys that went on day 3, I mean, we saw most of the quarterbacks went off their 1st round, and then Will Levis, to start day 2 in the 2nd round. But of all the guys that went on day 3, I think Jake's got the chance guys got the best chance to become a starter. There are similarities to the old number 9. I'm not saying he's going to be Drew Brees. That would be unfair to Jake and to Drew. In the same fan base, I don't want to set that expectation, but there are similarities in terms of size and play style. He's got a ton of moxie. I mean, we saw him 2 years ago in kind of his highlight game that really got him on the map. We had a scout at the UCLA game where he was injured, and really one of the guttier performances in the last few years in college football. He brought the team back, had an injury, could barely walk around on the field, and really, really a cool performance. So, yeah, Jake's got a chance to hit. He was the Senior Bowl game MVP for us, and some of the guys recently that have won that award, Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert. He's just got some gamer to him. So, and he doesn't have to play right away. And it's a nice succession plan from one Fresno State guy in Derek Carr to hopefully Jake. Hopefully that's the plan for the New Orleans Saints.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the 2 guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.